Well, welcome to this week's edition of Hawk Talk. It's been a while since I've been here. Susanna is now out. I feel like we're kind of playing, games with each other. She's out teaching right now, but hopefully next week we will be back together, back to the original crew and back to doing what we love. We have a guest on the show who we've been trying to get on for the past couple of weeks, kind of been dodging our trying to get her on here, but go ahead and introduce yourself, where you're from and what you do here at DSU.
Okay, well, I'm Mackenzie Grubbs. I'm from Upton, Wyoming, and I'm on the track and field team here at Dickinson.
Yeah, the greatest state in the whole union, Wyoming, right
Yep.
there. I always have to throw that shout out there. It's been a year since we've had you on. We had you on basically right when you transferred here last spring. How has that been being a Blue Hawk for the past year? You're officially a Blue Hawk for a year now.
I am. It's been awesome. I love the coaches here. The team is awesome. It's just like a family here.
Yeah.
The school is pretty awesome too. It's super laid back and easy just to talk to your professors. So that's been really a good change for me.
Yeah, awesome. Well, you've had quite the career here already. In 1 year, you've took first at the indoor conference, did really well last year in the outdoor conference. What do you, how are you preparing for these weekends, and what are you seeing? How are you feeling with all of these events and with all the success?
So Coach Witt does a really good job of just kind of getting us ready as far as workouts, and our new coach, Coach Hill, he does a really good job. We really worked hard lifting this year. We're lightening up now, just in season, kind of getting with the flow of things. So they've done a really good job preparing us this year, and I guess it's kind of just on us as athletes to kind of get mentally there and in the game, just ready for the weekend. Yeah,
awesome. Well, I'm sure you've done track pretty much your whole life, and I'm sure in high school you probably did quite a variety of events being from a smaller school. So if there was one other event that you've done in the past that you wish you were kind of doing now, or you just really loved, what would that other event be?
As surprising as it sounds, I really didn't do random events in high school. I was pretty much just a hurtler, even though I was from a small Wyoming town. Yeah, so I did hurdles and relays, which is still what I do now. So
if there was another event that you would want to do, like you saw out there, hey, that mile looks really fun. I'm not saying that doesn't sound fun at all, but if there was another event, what would that be?
Honestly, I tried pole vault in high school, and I thought that was really fun. So I think if there's one event I'd work at, it would be pole vault.
That's cool. Well, Coach, let's get her back on the pole vault. I'm sure she'd be great at it. With all of the success that you've had and the team's success, there comes sort of a level of leadership and just responsibility as some of the successful people on the team, and as you are. So what do you do as a leader on the team? You're still, you're young, you're a sophomore, but what are the things you're doing both, just in your action and in your words?
I would say being a leader on the track team is mostly nobody wants to go out there and do repeats of anything or interval training, but kind of just getting yourself mentally in the game and making every run count. Getting out there, trying your best, and pushing all the girls with you to run as hard as they can every time. As far as hurdles go, I am one of the oldest hurdlers on our team.
As a sophomore, that's good.
So just kind of leading the drills and kind of getting everyone through them and stuff. Pushing everyone to work as hard as they can every day really is a big thing in track.
Yeah, awesome. Well, the team, the women's team took first in the conference for the indoor season. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We haven't got to say that yet. Looking into the outdoor season, what are the steps that it's going to take to win that outdoor conference now?
Well, we are still sitting really good in our conference again for the outdoor season, but it's mostly just indoor conference was just kind of pinpointing things that we'd like to work on for outdoor. So I think we're just really focusing and hammering down on things we need to work on and just perfecting everything. Yeah. So that by the time we peak at outdoor, it'll just be the optimal performance.
Right. Yeah. Amen to that. Well, track. Obviously, track is super mental. You've been doing it your whole life. Super mental, especially competing against yourself. It's almost like you just have to overcome that hump. If you fail, you have to really, really push yourself. So what kind of things do you do as an individual, to prepare yourself to overcome failure, to overcome whatever is going to come that day and whatever is going to come in that event?
So it is hard, but I like to do is just give myself like 10 minutes, just think about the race, think about what happened, and then like, okay, gotta be done feeling sorry for yourself, like it happened, and just kind of gotta move on, like mentally tell yourself, well, like if I don't change my mentality about it, then it's not gonna change the results. So you just kind of gotta really get on yourself, I guess, about changing that.
Yeah, cool. Well, this weekend is it's an interesting weekend. It's the first weekend you guys will have a track meet in like 3 weeks. It's been snowy and rainy all over the country, but it's also a home meet. We have the Blue Hawk Games. So talk about what it's going to be like to finally compete again in a couple weeks and to be competing at home.
Yeah, so it has been a long 3 weeks. I mean, it's kind of hard not getting that break of competition and like working so hard and then it gets canceled.
Yeah, right.
So it will be awesome. I'm super excited to have a home meet, actually. It's kind of nice not to have to travel long hours and then like cramp up on the bus and have to worry about running that out.
Right.
So it'll be nice to be home and just kind of like have all the Dickinson family there to watch, and it'll be very nice to compete and just kind of finally see where we're at again with this training that we've been doing.
Yeah, and it's going to be a warm day. It's not going to be snowing or raining or anything. It's going to be a really warm day. Well, second to last question, with basically 3 weeks left, 3 or 4 weeks left in this season, in the semester, how are you going to prepare yourself to compete and then rest and compete and kind of just heal all within 3 weeks in order to be at your best self and the team's best self for that conference and for that national meet, hopefully?
Yes. Like I said, we did Ann Whitcop. She's been really good working as our trainer, and we do keep her very busy, so it's like
it's a good and bad thing.
Yes, it is. But she does help us with recovery things, like constant like stretching, keeping us healed and keeping us feeling good. And then Whitcop's really good about working with us, like if you're not feeling the best one day, like, okay, we'll just take it easy today and then hopefully you'll be back at it tomorrow kind of thing. So they're really good at working with us as far as injuries go. And like I said, it just kind of comes down to that mentality that, okay, here it is. You really got to start putting the work in now if you want to make it.
Well, last question here. You kind of answered it at the beginning, but you've been here for a year, you've been competing, been doing really well on the track team. But there's more to DSU than just the track team. So talk about what it means to be a Blue Hawk to you and what you enjoy the most about being here at Dickinson.
Being a Blue Hawk to me is honestly just being part of an awesome family. Like, it's awesome that you can just walk around campus and everyone knows you, and like it's a small community and it's fun to just like know everyone and like have friends everywhere you go. Like every class you have, there's friends in and stuff like that. So that's really awesome to me. I guess it was just a big change from my old college, just like coming into somewhere so welcoming and like such a family. And it's not like you only know the track team or stuff like that. Like it's just awesome to just be a family with everyone here. Yeah, awesome.
We're glad you're here. We're glad you're part of the family. We're excited to see, how the rest of this season shakes out, and basically the next 2 years of your career. It's gonna be really fun to watch. We'll hopefully get you on every single season so you can get the award for being the most. I forget what Susanna calls it, the most attended or something. Blue Hawk. But we'll see if we can get you that award.
Okay.
Well, thanks for coming on. We'll be right back after this talking with a special guest. So getting a scholarship from, the Touchdown Club, the Booster Club, and the school really gave me an appreciation for Dickinson State and the people who have been through Dickinson State and who will come through DSU. It's given me appreciation and just love for this school and this community, and it's helped me realize that I want to give back to programs that help me get through college as well. Scholarships are so important to DSU and its community because they bring in athletes from all over the country, the best athletes that we can get to improve our sports team and to improve Dickinson State University. So the Heritage Foundation and the Touchdown Club and the Booster Club, they're all working together to create scholarships and opportunities for students, whether they're from North Dakota, Dickinson, or all across the country. We want students to come here and have a great experience and do well in athletics. Well, welcome back to Hawk Talk. Like I said, a special guest coming on the show. I'm going to have him introduce himself, where he's from, and what he does here at Dickinson.
Hi, I'm Kevin Owerts, and I'm the high school principal at DHS.
Yeah, a big name. I played football with your son. Have played football. I guess I graduated, but just a big name in the community. There's a big decision coming up in our community. Just go ahead and talk about what it is and what it could do.
Yeah, we have a big bond referendum for a new school coming up May 7th, and we've been busy out getting information out to the patrons in the community to see, hopefully they look at the needs that we have and be informed voters and make a decision that whether they feel that we should build a new school or not. And it's, like I say, it's a big process right now, and I'm a sports person. I coached, and I like the sports analogy, saying that we're just getting past the seventh inning stretch right now, and we're getting ready for the final couple innings. So it's been exciting.
Well, the first question that's probably came to people's mind and has been asked to you all the time is, why is the school board looking at building a new school?
Well, it started it's been a long process even before I came on board at DHS. The building is old and is in need of some repair, but the enrollment is one of the main driving forces of looking at the new school. The elementary grade numbers, we have projections, and we will be beyond capacity within 2 years at the high school.
Wow.
So that's a driving, and we've done a bunch of research looking at do we want to remodel the current building, make an addition to the building, or build new. And listening to the community members, listening to the experts, the designers, we decided on the project of building a new addition or a new school, 3 stories, about 3,111 square feet.
Wow. But
also keeping the newer addition of the new high school, about 40% of the old building we're going to be keeping.
Wow.
The gym space, what we call the 100 wing, those types of things, we'll keep that and incorporate it. And with that, we are getting 70,000 more square feet for about $7 million less.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Can't beat a deal like that.
That's right.
But I know, and I shouldn't joke about it because, it is an expensive building. It's going to be an effect on the taxpayers, but we feel that it's an investment for the future for the students, and we're investing in the future of Dickinson.
Yeah, and that's great. That's what we're always looking for. As a principal, you're in the school day in, day out with those students. What's the biggest challenge you face with the growing numbers of students and a smaller building and an older building, like you said?
The biggest challenge as we're growing is getting the students or the staff. We have to expand on staff a little bit as well because the students are growing. So finding areas for those staffs to teach. We had, when I came on board, we had 3 teachers that were going to be roving, that were going to rotating to whatever classroom's open.
Wow.
But then we had 2 computer labs. So what we decided to do is take the computer labs out, buy laptops, put them in carts so that we'd still have the same amount of computers, but then give those teachers classrooms. So we still have 1 floating teacher, and as we grow, that is going to become more and more of a reality of if we hire staff, that there's going to be more teachers that are going to have to float, and they're not going to have necessarily a home room. They're just going to have to go to whatever's open.
Right.
That's going to be one of the challenges. The other challenges that we're facing is course selection. There's some areas that we turn over half the kids that apply for these courses or want to be in these courses because we don't have enough teachers.
Right.
Our health careers is one example that we had 233 students apply for our health careers program, and we could only accommodate 103 teachers, or students, excuse me. So we are currently looking for another health careers teacher, and that's what we have now. But we know we're going to have to expand more teachers down the road. So we're doing it because we have some strong programs, and we want the students to be partaking in those programs.
Yeah. Well, like I mentioned, I played football with your son. You just came to the community a year or 2 ago, but Reese has been here for a couple years. What is your favorite part about watching Blue Hawk athletics?
Well, I graduated from DSU
Yeah.
a long time ago.
We won't say.
So, you know, my wife did too. So we're Blue Hawks, been there, and
Yeah.
we were really happy. We did not push Reese. It was his decision, and he did. We were happy with his choice. Internally, when he said he wanted to be a Blue Hawk,
Yeah.
we were jumping in for joy inside.
Right.
But you know, yeah, watching your son, you know, your play that's quite an honor, and that's quite a thing that we say as long as he's on the bus, we're on the bus.
Yeah,
We're going and
right.
traveling and watching, and it's been a great experience, especially last year with you guys making the playoff run.
Right.
But it's also being a Blue Hawk to go watch the other events. You know, we've been to women's basketball, men's basketball.
Yep.
You know, there's other things. We're just sports fans, so we just want to go and watch. So
Enjoy
it's good to be in the community and partake in those and
Yeah.
be part of the Blue Hawk family.
Yeah. Well, looking at this expansion effort that the school board is trying to do, how will the new school and all of its entities, and how will that affect Dickinson State and the Blue Hawks?
Well, we've had, you know, a number of conversations with Dr. Mitzel. You know, the high school needs to have that co-op with the college. We need to be working hand in hand. We can't be two separate entities, and we have to be working together. And we're doing something that we're also looking at doing career academies at the high school.
Okay.
And that'll tie in with the colleges as well. And our goal is to possibly start some dual enrollment with Dickinson State,
Yeah.
getting kids started in college and getting some kind of certificates or some kind of degrees through DSU.
Yeah.
We feel that if they can start in high school to get those degrees, they're more likely to go to college and finish that degree. If they're maybe not in a pathway or a directive, they may not, they'll decide I'm going to go to work instead of a college, but if they've got a year into a program already, they're more likely going to be finishing it.
Yeah. Well, looking at, you know, both the academic and the athletic side, why is it important to invest into education and to the athletics and to keep the competition of the whole the high school just growing and growing and growing, and to just invest in the students?
Well, you know, like we say, we want to be part of the community. That's where these career academies are going, and we heard that the workforce is the companies are tired of training people from Florida, Texas, all over, and then training them, getting them caught up to speed, getting them into the job and workforce, and then 3-4 years later going back home, and then they have to start all over again. Where we feel if we can raise our own, do our own, get the workforce here, that'll sustain the community.
Yeah.
It'll be the college, and with athletics, you know, there is a big field house and fields that are being designed with this. It's for multiple reasons. You know, athletics is one, but graduation. We want a gymnasium that we don't have to turn people away for graduation.
Right.
The remodel of the existing gyms is going to be important because we're going to be shifting the weight room. We want to have our students to be as competitive as possible, give them every opportunity to succeed.
Yeah.
And that's going to come with the curriculum as well. And again, with the Dickinson State, if we can start our students in a DSU program, it's going to be an easy transition for them to maybe after they graduate to just go to DSU and finish out that. And if you can get, you know, start athletes or whatever, our best athletes, more power to everybody. You know,
just
it's
keep
going to
it-
work out. It's a
keep it-
win-win for everybody.
Yep, keep us in the community. You know, I've heard that there's a couple more open forums happening within the next couple of weeks. The vote is happening on May 7th, correct?
Right.
So when are those dates of the open forums, and what can we expect to hear from this?
The first one is actually at the BAC on April 24th at 10 a.m.
Okay.
That's going to be a morning one for the people that cannot make the night forum, so we are going to be holding an afternoon one. Again, it's just getting the information out to the voters. We want voters to be informed. You know, with this process, people hear things and they take it and they hear rumors, and we just want to make sure that we're being as transparent and informative as possible. So we also have one on April 25th, another forum in the high school auditorium. That is a 7 o'clock forum, but we also are doing school tours at 6 o'clock that evening. And our last forum that is planned right now, if we need more, we'll definitely go travel and we'll talk to people, but our last forum before the vote is going to be April 30th at Dickinson High in the auditorium.
Okay.
Again, a 6 o'clock tour and 7 o'clock forum.
Yeah, awesome. Well,
Should also mention, if you can't attend, it's also on Facebook Live.
Okay.
We take questions via Facebook. and we try answering everybody's questions and,
Yeah.
and get the information out.
Yeah.
And and that's even there. Like some of the seniors are saying, why do we, what would it benefit us? And that's even going to DSU students. What is going to be the benefit of this school for DSU? Why should we go out and vote? And the thing is, it's investing in the future of Dickinson.
Yeah.
If your plans are to come back, and when I was in high school or whatever, I was never coming back home, but I went back to Mott for 17 years after I was there.
Right.
You may come back, and this is going to be an investment in the future, and you may say never because you may be coming back, and you're just investing in your future and in the long-term future of Dickinson and Dickinson High.
Yeah, right. Well, last question here. We've been kind of asking everyone since it is the centennial year. I'm going to change the question around a little bit, but what does DSU and the Dickinson community mean to you? Being a former Blue Hawk, now living in the community, what does it mean to you?
It means a lot. My wife Mary and I have talked about it. The community and college has changed a lot since we've went here in the 80s, and we are just so excited to see the progression, to see the future of Dickinson and DSU. It is progressive, and we want to be on that cutting edge with the high school being progressive as well, and we're just happy to be part of it. We're excited, and to get our partnership with DSU and DHS going, it's got a bright future, and just to be part of it is really exciting for us.
Yeah. Well, Kevin, thank you for coming on. We're excited to see where the future goes from here, and maybe we'll get you on some other time.
Perfect. Anytime. I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
We'll be back right after this with another very special guest.
If I didn't have scholarships from DSU, then I wouldn't be playing football, and I wouldn't be making the friends that I have made up here, which will go on for a lifetime. And if I didn't have these scholarships, then I probably wouldn't know how nice North Dakota is and the people are here. The interaction that we have between community members and the Touchdown Club and football players is very important. We are able to show them who we are and where their money's going. In fact, giving everybody a chance to sit and talk with each other and just being able to create friendships. We'll see members in the community and they'll recognize us as football players, and they'll say, "Good job during your game," or "Go get them this week." And it's really an upbuilding, uplifting environment to be in.
Welcome back to Hawk Talk. We have the most important guest we could probably ever have on, my boss. That's why. Go ahead and introduce yourself, where you're from, and what you do here at DSU.
I'm Ty Horton. I'm the executive director of the DSU Heritage Foundation.
Yeah, and the foundation has been, I think we had you on right before Christmas, right?
Correct.
So since then, the foundation has been fairly busy with, we had Yule Time right there, and then we had a couple more events these past couple months. Talk about what's been happening at the foundation and that we've been hosting.
Well, we celebrated our 3-year anniversary. Been around for 3 years now. Some things have been going really strong. I mean, the community support, we can't thank this community enough for everything that they've done to help the foundation get back on their feet, through scholarships, through verbal support. I mean, everything that they've done. The last several months have been active for us as well. A lot of foundations have quiet time during these months, but we really can't afford to do that yet. So, and I don't think we ever will want to do that. I think we're an active foundation. Our board is phenomenal. Mary Nordsman is our board president now. She just took over, so she ran her first meeting in March, and we thank Dr. Arnold for everything that he did for the first 3 years to get us going. We had a bike-a-thon, which was a tremendous event for us, and really a lot of community event. It's a fun event. Look for it next year. It'll be around March 1st, and raise scholarship dollars and student need dollars, such as we had students that went to Carnegie Hall this year. They raised some money to help offset some of their costs.
Yeah, and
So
the
that was a
trip
great
to
event.
Italy.
And the
as well.
trip to Italy, that's right. That was a big fundraiser for them. So it's just a really fun trip. We have a couple of socials here and there, and just to make sure that we're still connecting with the people in the community. And then we have another social coming up that I think is a really important one. It's a thank you for our faculty and staff for everything that they do. There's only 2 weeks left of school. It's a crazy thing. So we need to thank the faculty and staff for all their hard work, and sometimes they don't get thanked enough for everything that they do, and it's hard to go in there every day to push those students when those students don't want to be pushed at that time, and they don't like that. But then 10 years later they look back on it, and that's what makes them grow as an individual.
Yeah. Well, as the end of the school year comes quickly, like you just said, what are some of the things that are planned for May, June, July, and August, just the sort of the dead months around the school, the university, with all the students gone?
Right, we have several things going on. We do a lot of, Alicia Erickson, our alumni director, is working extremely hard with our several of our committees, making sure that they are setting up our golf tournaments. We work with the Booster Club and the Touchdown Club to help promote their golf tournaments. So we're actually going to have 5 to 7 golf tournaments this summer, associated with DSU, and
Yeah. It's a lot of golf.
Neither one of us are great golfers, so I don't live or die by golf.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of people would say how lucky we are, but I guess we are because we're outside. But then you watch my game and you would say, boy, you're not real lucky. So we're working on those, and then we're constantly doing our fundraising. We're meeting a lot of new people. We're looking for sponsorships for our athletic events and our fine and performing arts events. We're looking for individuals that want to start new scholarships for us. We're always in the need of scholarships, so that's our main focus.
Yeah, and the academic campaign will be kicking off in May, correct? And what's that going to look like?
So we have our academic campaign has been hit or miss the last couple of years. We're still trying to find out what direction that's going to head, and we think we have that figured out this year. We've really tried some things that worked, but not at the level we wanted them to work at. And we think we're ready to really kick off a nice campaign. It's called the Cornerstone Traditions Campaign. And it's where anybody can give $25. Everybody says, well, I don't give enough to make a difference. Where $25, it makes a difference.
Yeah.
That goes into the pot, and that goes into our scholarship fund.
Yeah.
And that's where we sit there and we recruit new students, and we retain students off of that fund. And I think we sent a letter out. If every alumni gave $25, we'd have over $2 million a year for scholarships.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a phenomenal thing.
Awesome.
Compound interest kind of philosophy. So when we get that sent out, that should be in May. And once again, our academic scholarships are our number one priority.
Yeah.
We give a large amount of scholarships out annually, and about 60% of those are academic scholarships for DSU.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, on the other side, the athletic campaign just kicked off. It's a combination of the Touchdown Club, the Booster Club, the Heritage Foundation, just putting all of their efforts in, and the athletic department as well, putting all of their efforts into really just get a big push to promote and to support the athletic department. So talk about that, how that's been going.
Athletics is a big part of Dickinson State. It always has been. Everybody loves the football games. Everybody loves watching those student athletes in all of their sports. And the one thing about Dickinson State, we're a small school. We're not going to get it's rare where a Kane and a Liggins comes through and they go and they have a chance to play in the pros. But the one thing about it, they were in classes. They're representatives of DSU. Most of the kids that come through DSU they know this is their last stop. They're going to play 4 years, and they're moving on.
Yeah.
But this is a pathway for them to get their degree, and they know that. So this campaign is very big with the budget cuts that we've had over the last several years. Really redefining everything that DSU does with our academic campaign and our athletic campaign. Scholarships are huge, and this campaign is kicking off. Mailing's going out this week. We have several commercials that are going out, but with the Booster Club. The Blue Hawk Booster Club Board of Directors, they're phenomenal in what they do. They had the rendezvous several weeks ago, which it's the biggest fundraiser that DSU has.
Yeah.
They'll raise a large amount of money coming in, and then the Blue Hawk Touchdown Club, they are just tremendous in everything that they do. They're hardworking. They really get to know the students. They're out doing a lot of events and really support not only the football team, but all of athletics.
Right.
So we're really lucky to have those two organizations assisting in developing scholarships for these students.
Yeah, and as the future goes on, it seems like the relationships are really growing between Touchdown Club, Heritage Foundation, and the Booster Club, and even with the university. And it just seems like there's getting more and more support. So, what what's it going to take to get more support? And I mean, what is that support going to do for the foundation and for the students especially?
You know, right now we have it's crazy because our athletics are so far from fully funded. We don't have one student at Dickinson State that has a full ride.
Right.
You know, and we have tremendous academic students. We have tremendous athletes, and there's not one student up there that receives a full ride.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a misconception that, well, if you play athletics, you automatically get a full ride. Not at Dickinson State.
Right.
You don't. A lot of schools that we compete against do. You know, you look at Western Montana, Northern, Rocky, those type of schools, they're giving a lot of full rides out.
Yeah.
So this campaign is vital to the success of our athletic programs in order to recruit the right type of kids that are going to make Dickinson State a stronger university, and our athletic teams take them to the highest level.
Yeah. Well, looking back at the past and looking ahead to the future, you know, there's been quite a few moments of ups and downs with the university, with the foundation. But you know, what's the future going to look like, and what are you excited for?
You know, we're excited for a lot of things. I think there's just so many things. There's so many people up at Dickinson State and in this community that love the Blue Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they want to see this college succeed. Yeah. They want to make sure that this college is going in the right direction. Once again, it's not necessarily giving money. They're out talking, saying Dickinson State's recovering, and we are. We're really moving in the right direction. I think next fall we will grow in enrollment.
Mm-hmm.
We are pushing it hard. You know, our admissions are pushing it hard. Our athletic teams, our departments are recruiting more. You know, so I think that outside of the foundation, Dickinson State's just going to get stronger and stronger. Yeah. And within the foundation, we're in the same boat. You know, I think this is the first year where our endowments are going to actually produce some income to help offset some of those scholarships. Right. You know, giving out, it's unprecedented. I mean, we've given out $2.3 million in scholarships our first 3 years of existence. Yeah. I mean, that's a huge thank you to this community and our alumni and our donors. I mean, without people truly supporting the university, we couldn't have done that. And you know, over 500 scholarships a year we're giving out. That's a big thing. Yeah. What we want to do is we want to increase our merit scholarships this next year. We want to increase that so we can recruit more strong students to come to DSU. We want our athletic scholarships to also increase a little bit. We want to do everything that we can in order to assist Dickinson State. Yeah. And that's kind of the role of the foundation. Yeah.
And we're looking forward to it. The future's bright, I believe, for the foundation and for the university, and we'll just keep pairing up. Thank you for coming on. We'll probably get you on, you know, sometime. We'll get you whenever you deserve to come back on. I'll be back right after this to recap, you know, the past 3 weeks since we've been gone and to look forward to the next.
Life is full of many successes, achievements, stages. Every year we grow, things change, and pretty soon we realize we want and need to do more. When you're ready for that next step, Dickinson State University will get you there. Find out how at dsublue.com.
Well, welcome back to Hawk Talk. I feel very absent without Susanna, but I'm sure she's felt that way without me, maybe. I don't know. But we're just going to recap the past 3 weeks or 2 weeks and look ahead to the next. With track, we just had Mackenzie on today. They've been, you know, out of having meets. The snow's been pretty terrible in the places they've been trying to go. They've been trying to get down to South Dakota. So the past 2 weeks, the meets have been canceled. But this weekend, like we mentioned, the Blue Hawk games are coming up this Friday. Going to be a really wonderful day out there, 74 degrees. If you get a chance, go on out and check out the Blue Hawks out there at the BAC. It's going to be just a fun time getting to watch some of our home Blue Hawks. Football, they did have their spring game last weekend. Boy, it was cold out there. I tried to huddle up under my coat, and even that didn't work. But it was good to see the boys back out there playing, especially in the spring. You know, some things didn't look good, but you know, plenty of things did look really good. And I know the coaches are excited for what they saw, especially in the young guys and in some of those guys who are coming back for their third or fourth year, and in those some of those transfer guys. So we're excited. You know, the spring is a time just to feel things out and really push for the fall, and especially this summer. Softball has been very busy. They went over and played Viterbo. They split a weekend with them 2-2, won, and then lost one on both days. And then they split 1-1 versus Presentation. Interesting about Presentation, they lost 0-3 and then came back and won 13-0 in 5 innings. And so we're excited just to see that the softball team has been, they're feeling out those highs and lows, just riding the wave, and then come conference time, they're going to really outperform everyone else, I believe. This past weekend, they went 1-3 against Bellevue. It got changed from a Saturday Sunday to a Sunday Monday, and then Monday afternoon they ended up pulling out the win. So it was just good to see them close with a win, and just really, come away with a big win, especially a confidence booster heading into this weekend. They play Dakota State at home Friday and Saturday, or Saturday and Sunday, I believe. If you get a chance to go out there, go ahead and watch them. They're playing Dawson next week and Presentation next week. They're gonna finish out that doubleheader that they had, and have 2 games against them at home. So we're excited for that. Golf ended up going to Rapid City a couple of weekends ago. They've been snowed out and rained out as well, but a couple weekends ago, Carter Klein took second and Riley Helmick also took second on the men's and the women's side. On the men's side, Jarrett Lee, Hunter Myron, and Jeremy Payne took 10th, 11th, and 12th, and then Braylon also took 8th on the women's side. And so it's good to see that the golfers have been able to get out this weekend. They are actually going to be hosting their home tournament at Heart River. Hopefully the weather holds up on Thursday, and then Friday, obviously, the weather's going to be great. And so we're excited that they're also going to get back out on the course, and have the opportunity to compete and then really make that push for the conference tournament as well. Teams have been very busy recruiting. We've been seeing it all over the website, all over the social medias that, football is bringing in guys, basketball is bringing in guys, both men and women. Track has been signing guys in volleyball as well, and it's an exciting time at DSU, and we're looking forward to what all of these recruits are going to mean for next fall. And it's crazy to be thinking that we're coming to the end of this spring and the next fall is almost here, but we're excited and looking forward to all of that the future has for the Blue Hawks. We'll be back next week. Hopefully Susanna will be here. Hopefully I'll be here. You never know with us. We're bouncing around quite a bit, but until then, Hawks are up.